Hello everyone, it's Kate Marshall. The name of my channel is called Inked Paper Art, and I do junk journal videos every day. We're on day 155 so far this year, and so there are 155 short format videos teaching you to make different pieces of ephemera every day on my channel. They're all in one playlist under the 365 junk journal ideas playlist on my channel. So if you are new here, if this is the first video you've seen or you are not aware, there are a huge number of videos out there, and we're going to keep going till we get to 365. So we're going to do 155 today, which is a awesome pocket for a junk journal. If you are not making this pocket, you need to add it to your rotation. It is an amazing pocket that is so simple to make but looks so beautiful when it's done. It uses basic supplies. There's not a lot of cutting or measuring or any of that kind of stuff. Let's get started. I have 4 papers here. These are 4 of my digitals. They are some French invoices with some floral patterns. You could use scrapbook paper if you wanted. You could use, these are, double side printed, just regular paper. So 28-pound paper. And that's what I'm going to use for this project today. We're going to make 4 of them together. So here's what you need to know. If you're using double-sided cardstock from a scrapbook paper pad, whatever, you just need to be aware that part of this project on one side is going to face this way, and the other part of the project on the other side will be folded up to face this way. So don't get stressed about it. It's going to be fine no matter how you make it, but just be aware that when you're printing a digital, if you are printing, or if you're choosing a scrapbook paper, this side will be face up this way. This one, this paper will fold up this way. Just never mind that. I'm just going to point that out before we get started. So I'm going to use this one where I can fold it up this way. Okay, that's how I'm using that one. Then this is our next paper. And for this one, I know I want to use the red side upside down so that I can fold it up like this. Okay, so you're following along there. Now for this one, I think we're going to go ahead and let this one be upside down here. I kind of like that little check pattern. So I think we're going to leave that one the way it is. This one here, we could fold up that way. That is kind of beautiful. Yeah, let's fold it up that way. Because the other option would be to fold it up this way where you'd have that tax stamp or whatever showing there. It'll be upside down, so let's fold it this way. So pay attention to, the pretty side, whatever, it's got flowers all over it. It's not that directional. But this one back here is definitely directional, and I'm using it upside down. So when I fold it over, this will be right side up. It'll make more sense here in a minute. Anyway, I have 4 papers. I'm going to stack them all together. And I am going to not crease them, but I'm going to roll them over on themselves. You only need 1 piece of paper, but I'm making 4 of these today. So it's just better to mass make them all at once. So all I've done is I've stacked all the papers together, tapped them together, and I've just rolled them over so that the points are all aligned. And I'm just going to hold them where the points are aligned there. And I'm going to cut all 4 of them. And you can cut whatever angle here that you wish to cut. It doesn't matter the angle, okay? Then I'm going to choose one of these papers, one that I can see, and I'm going to come down here to the bottom, keeping my papers aligned, and I'm just going to lay this here as just a guide. It doesn't need to be exact. It will be fine if it's off, but just use it as a guide to angle your scissors. You don't need to do anything else. Just use it as a little guide, and that just helps you get the corners as close to, matching as you can. Again, if they're a different angle, it really doesn't matter, but that's just an easy way of doing that, okay? So now we end up with 4 papers that look like this. They all have their corners cut off of them. This is a super simple, very fast make. That's why we're making 4 of them today, okay? So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our papers and we're going to, we're going to roll them over. So roll over your left side. And then you're going to roll this one over and you're going to decide which way you want them to overlap. They just need to overlap just a tiny little bit right here. Just a tiny little bit of an overlap, okay? So I'm just going to roll it over. Don't overlap it a lot. You're not going to like the result. If you do, just overlap it a little bit so you can glue it. Don't be too technical, and then crease it. You're just making sure that you're straight up there at the top so that you have a straight pocket and not a crooked pocket. So there's number one. We're going to do it again, and we're going to roll it. Decide what one you want on top. Roll it over. I'm kind of looking at the V here in the center, making sure I have some overlap. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, there's number two. Again, you only need one piece of paper, but I am making 4 of them. Then we're going to roll it over again. And maybe we want this one on the top this time. It's got a little bit more decoration. And so there's that. And I'm not measuring. I'm not doing anything. I'm just making sure that this is rolled over and is straight and is having a little bit of an overlap. Okay. Last one. Super simple, but you guys are going to love this pocket. I love this pocket. And it's one that you're going to want to put in every single journal because it's so simple and so beautiful when it's done. And it has a whole big bunch of pockets in it if you wish it to have a bunch of pockets. Some people like projects that have a million pockets, but the downside of that is you have to fill a million pockets. So in all of these projects that I show you on this channel, if you don't want to make it with all the pocket options, then don't. Then glue them closed or whatever you want to do with it. But there are options, right? Okay, so we have all 4 papers folded over in these tube shaped things, right? Okay, so now we're going to take it and you're going to fold up the bottom part of it. This is the top part up here that I've chosen for this paper. You're going to fold up the bottom. And from here, you can fold it up as high or as low as you want it to fold. I personally think it looks better folded up about 4 inches. So I'm not measuring. I'm just going with a 4-inch rough approximate measurement with my balls. Okay, so I've got a 4-inch little flap right there. We're going to do that to all 4 of them. Is this the top or the bottom of this one? Okay, yes. I got confused. So we're going to fold it up 4 inches, and I'm just lining up the sides. Just line up the sides and fold. About 4 inches. This one's about 4 inches. I might go a little 4.5. It doesn't really matter. You fold it up as far as you wish it to fold. There we go. This is the last one. I was like, do we want to cover up that tax stamp? Either way, it would get covered up, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Okay, so we're going to go back to this and we're going to cover it up. Being picky with my papers. Anyway, 4-inch folds. There we go. Now you're going to unfold that little flap that you just folded. They all need unfolded. You open up the paper completely. And for the purpose of this video, I'm going to ink. So fold that little flap that you just did. You just did this. You just did this. Unfold the little bottom section. That's the section we're going to work on. Unfold it. For the purpose of this video, I will crease it the wrong way and ink it so that, honestly, both of us can see this line. So we're going to ink it just so we can see it. You don't really need it inked. I mean, it might help you to cut. But anyway, you unfold it, and we're going to cut right here and right here. You're not going to cut past that little center fold here or here. You're not cutting those. You're just cutting right here on your side flaps. And if you don't get them perfect, that's okay. Again, I stopped right here. It's all right. Just do the best you can there. This is a simple project. It's not technical. Don't worry about it. Okay. So from here, you can fold this all different directions. I can fold it back like this where I had it and fold this up on it and then fold these in. That's one project, right? Or I could unfold it flip this over and fold it this way. If I decided, hey, I like the blue better, then I could fold it this way and fold it up and fold my flaps in. So you decide what way you like your paper and fold it, okay? You can fold it any direction. It doesn't matter. That would be fine if I wanted it like that. Maybe we'll leave that one that way. Let's look at it again this way. So here's the other option where we fold it in like that. Honestly, both of them are beautiful. It doesn't matter to me, but for this specific one, I think I will go like this. Okay, so crease it there, set it to the side. Now this one here, we need to do the same thing. We need to open up the bottom. I'm going to fold that up just so that I can ink it, and then I'm going to cut it. We have time. We're good. We're making 4 today. So I inked it, and I'm going to cut these little side pieces right on the ink line. You cut them right on the line and not past that second fold line, just to the first fold line there. Oops, that one's a little crooked. That one's a little crooked. Straighten out. There we go. And just cut it right on that line. There we go. And now I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to fold it in. And that's, again, just so I can ink. You don't have to ink. If you can see your lines, you don't need to. I think it's a little easier to see them for both of us when they're inked. There's that. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Today we are having a live sale on the channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have amazing French goodies this week. Goodness. I unpacked some lovely mixed media things. I have some very old antique French factory time card slots. They're actual oak wall cabinets that would be like awesome home decor, or you can use them in your craft room and put all kinds of supplies in the little slots where the time cards used to be. There's just amazing things. Okay, so now let's work on folding these the way that we want them. For this one, you're going to fold in. So this is the one I want to see in the back of my pocket. I'm going to fold in my little flaps so that they have an overlap. Then I'm going to fold up the bottom pocket and fold these guys the wrong direction. You fold them the wrong direction. So you should have whatever pattern you have in the background back here, you should have flaps here. Now, if you wanted to, you could unfold it and do it the other way. I don't think that's what I want, but I'll show it to you and see what it looks like. So you have many options. Just keep your crease lines the same. There's that one. There's that one. And then you would fold up your bottom pocket and fold over your flaps. So I think it definitely looks better the other way. So that's the way I'm going to do it. And now we're going to ink it and glue it. Now, you really only need to ink for gluing your pocket, really only need to ink the V right here. That's all. So I'm just going to rub some ink there quick, and we're going to glue all 4 of these up. And then we're going to show you the hidden pocket. Again, it's going to fold up like this. And we're going to ink this V right here and that additional little pocket. That's the little hidden pocket, okay? This one has 3 pockets on this pocket. Plus there is a pocket where you glue this on the page. So it's 4 pockets total. But we'll show you that in the end here. For this one here, you have the V right here. But this right here is an additional pocket. And I like to put a thumb notch there, because otherwise it's kind of a hidden pocket and no one knows it's a pocket. Now, again, if you don't want to make that a pocket because you don't want to fill millions of pockets with things, that's no problem. Nobody says you have to make every little pocket possible on every single project there is, right? I mean, we all know that making ephemera takes the longest, right? When we make a journal. So there's what it looks like if you do the little thumb notch here. So we're going to leave that to the side and we'll glue them all in one step. This is our next one. Yes, it folds over like that. Then it folds up. Then it folds in and in. I don't know that it did that. Maybe it went like this. I'm too picky. I know. You guys have told me. It's all right. We're going to fold it up like this, then like that, and then in. Yes, this is a good pocket. That's a good pocket. Okay, so let's do this one. I'm going to take that thumb notch out of the hidden pocket, making it exposed so everyone knows it's a pocket. Just a little one there, and we're going to ink that. So we're inking everything at this step, and then the next step is just gluing, assembling, and then putting it on your page. And so you're getting 4 pockets if you want them. If you don't want 4, you can just do 2. That's all good too. When we make ephemera that has a lot of pockets in it, if you're selling a journal, some people make every little piece of ephemera like fully decorated to the nines, and then their journals take a year to make. That's one way of doing things. It's totally up to you. But the other way of doing things is where you make some fully decorated ephemera that is completely decorated to the nines. And then the other ephemera is more of a pre-made type of ephemera where you have it, some decorated ephemera where you hand make every little bit and you decorate it all up, but some is more of the alteration tags and guest checks and pre-made coffee dyed tags and things like that. So don't feel like when you're making journals that you have to spend a year making a journal in order for it to be a good journal. I think you guys have seen the journals I've made, and I use a mixture of ephemera. Most of my ephemera is the handmade, fully decorated kind, but that's also because I make these videos and I have a ton of pre-made ephemera. But if you don't, and you don't want to take that time and whatever, like you don't have that time, some of you are, you're working full time, you've got kids, whatever the situation is, you might not have a year to make a journal. So don't stress out about it. There's all different types of buyers of journals, and all the journals sell, all of them. They do. So if you're making journals to sell, make as much handmade ephemera as you're comfortable and you feel like your journal needs, and leave it at that. And then you can use pre-made ephemera, that kind of stuff, later to fill in the rest, to fill in the gaps. And people always ask me too, like, how much ephemera do you put in a junk journal? You put in as much as you want to put in. There isn't really a right or a wrong. There is a formula that I use, and many other people also use a similar formula. But I generally put 6 pockets or belly bands or whatever page elements, 6 things that get filled with ephemera in each half of my signature. For a single signature journal, that's 12 pockets or belly bands or page things that get filled with ephemera. In the front half is 6, in the back half of the signature is 6, so 12 total. And then everything gets filled as much as the journal will hold, right? So that's kind of my formula. These are our 4 pockets. We're going to glue them up. Gluing just takes a moment, and then I will show you how they work on a page. So first thing is you want to flip you want to flip down your small pocket, and we're going to work on the large pocket. And if you pay attention to where your V lines up there, it should kind of show you which one is the top flap too. And go ahead and add glue to, you could do one side, but I do 2. You guys know I do 1 here and 1 here, and then I fold them over on each other, and that's glued. And then for this one, we want to glue the flaps and then fold up our pocket. On this one, on the back pocket, all you're doing is gluing here. You don't need to glue the bottom because this one folds up. But here, we want to glue it where we've got the right one overlapping, which is this one. So we want to glue that, and then I'm going to glue the bottom from the bottom. I found that it's a little bit easier that way. So I've glued my flaps together, and then right here, I'm going to add glue. Now you could glue from the other side too, and I'll do that for you guys, but I think it's just easier for me to glue it this way. Gluing right there. And now we're going to glue this pocket up. You don't even have to glue this pocket up. You could just clip it if you wanted to, and it could be a flip down journal space in here if you want it. There's so many different options when we make ephemera. I'm going to glue mine up. on both sides. And it's just going to glue up like that. Now, if you have a little bit of overhang here, you can go ahead and trim that off, making sure that you don't cut into, you know, your pocket part. But if you have a little overhang, glue it, you know, cut it off. So there's one all glued up. Let's continue to work on these. Let's go ahead and glue this one. If I've got glue, glue that one. And this one, again, you probably really only need to glue one, but I was worried something would get stuck in there, so I glued both. And then we're going to glue these. For this one, I'll glue the bottom first, but I don't think you always have to do it that way. There's that. And now we're going to glue this. It's just one more place to like get glue on your hand. So gluing from the bottom, totally fine. There we go. There's that one. I got a little piece of paper. Oh, that's where I accidentally cut up too far. I'm just going to glue that down. Here we go. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So there's that. And then I'll glue my pocket closed. There's that one. Now, if you don't want that center pocket, the one with the thumb notch, then just glue that completely flat there. Or you could make a side pocket. This one needs over just a little. There we go. But you could glue here across the top of the back one where the thumb notch is. You could glue here and have a side pocket back there. And that would be another fun option. Again, there's just a million ways. Once you're folding paper, there's a million things you can do with that folding of paper. Let's glue it like this. And you guys always ask me, how does this happen? How do you have so many ideas? I get ideas from everywhere, just like everyone else. I watch other YouTube videos. I, you know, sit there and fold paper and try to figure it out a lot. Sometimes I start making one thing and then, you know, it turns into something else, or I get a different idea of what you could do or something like that. So, you know, inspiration comes from all different places. And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, there is an awful lot of inspiration in the Facebook group. The Facebook group, it's linked in the description box. All of my links are in the description box. And it's called Junk Journal Makers. Now, do we want to do a side pocket on this one? Well, I thumb notched them, so I cannot on this project, but you could if you didn't thumb notch them. So there's that one. We've got one more to do, and then we will have completed 4 pockets. They are beautiful. I love them. And if you're wondering about the digitals for this project, I don't think any of these are all my digitals. They are not available yet in Etsy, but I will make them as soon as I can get those files uploaded. Obviously, I've got the files. I just need to get them, you know, zipped and uploaded to Etsy, which just takes time. But yeah, I will make them available for you guys. There we go. They're French invoices and floral patterns. There's some wallpaper patterns there. Lots of different things. And so I've made 4. I'll put some in the French farmhouse journals I'm making now, or French country journals I'm making now. And then I will have some on hand for later. This would also be a great project if you want to start making ephemera for Christmas journals. Honestly, that's just such a great project. If you're making like an idea book, make sure you make one of these and stick it in your idea book. Okay, so there's 4 pockets, guys. Let me show you how they work and how they go on a page. And we're going to get 4 pockets out of 1 pocket. So it's actually 16 pockets, but let's use a mock journal page. This is my mock journal page here. So imagine this is sewn into a journal. You would take your pocket, and I like to place them on the right side of the page, just like this. You would glue down the right side, glue down the bottom. Then you would have 4 pockets. So you would have a big tuck back here in the back. So that would be a tuck. You would have a pocket, as long as I made it the right size, you'd have a pocket here for a tag. You'd have a pocket back here in that hidden pocket area. And you'd have a pocket right here in the front. And then we can decorate this up more if you want to. If you want to cover this seam right here, you could put a label across there. You could do many things. But this is the way it works on a page. So they're really beautiful. I think that for a French country journal, I mean, honestly, if you're having 4 pockets, you could use like layaway tags like that. That would work just fine. Let me see if I folded it enough. Yes, I did, to get a big tag in there. But seriously, it's a fun pocket. It really is. It looks great. You can decorate it up any way you want to. Super, super fun, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you make this pocket. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.